The sun was just dipping below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and red. On the edge of a quiet, lonely farm, a strange figure stumbled into the field. She was unlike anything the farmer had ever seen. Her skin shimmered faintly in the fading light, and her eyes glowed a soft green. She carried a small bundle in her arms, and the bundle wriggled and whined softly. The farmer, Yarek, tightened his grip on the hoe he had been using, unsure if this visitor was a threat. What are you?" he asked, his voice rough but steady. The alien woman dropped to her knees, laying the bundle carefully on the ground. Her hands trembled as she spoke in broken, halting English. Please, sir. I beg you. I'll do anything, even tend your pigs, feed your animals, if you let my child stay here. Safe. Please." Jarek's heart raced. He had heard stories of aliens landing near remote farms, sometimes friendly, sometimes dangerous. But this was different. She didn't look like a soldier or a spy. She looked desperate, frightened. And the small child in her arms, it was no ordinary human. Its eyes were large, bright, and almost glowing like stars trapped in a tiny body. Yarek studied her cautiously. Why? Why does your child need to stay here? The woman shook her head rapidly. They are hunting us. My people, gone. I only have my child, safe, here, please. Her voice cracked, and tears fell freely from her shimmering eyes. Yarek hesitated. This was not a decision he had ever imagined making. But something in her eyes, something in the child's frightened gaze, stirred compassion he hadn't felt in years. Okay, he said finally, his voice firm. You and your child can stay, but only for tonight. We'll see what comes next in the morning. The alien woman's relief was almost unbearable to watch. She fell forward, kissing the earth with gratitude. Thank you. I will do anything. As night fell, Yarek led them to a small barn at the edge of the farm. The child nestled into a pile of straw, curling up like a tiny, delicate creature. The woman followed him silently, her eyes darting nervously toward the shadows outside. Yarek kept a watch at the edge of the field, heart pounding, sensing the danger was near. The woman kept her word. She worked tirelessly, feeding the pigs, collecting eggs, and mending fences. But even as she moved gracefully among the animals, Yarek noticed her glances toward the forest, where the moonlight cast long, eerie shadows. Every rustle of the wind made her stiffen, every snap of a twig made her flinch. Your people, they won't stop, will they? Yarek asked one evening as they shared a meager dinner in the barn. No, they hunt. My people, gone, my child only hope, must live, she whispered, her voice low, broken by fear. Days passed, and Yarek began to understand more about them. The child, though alien, seemed intelligent beyond its size, recognizing patterns in the farm's animals and even mimicking Jarek's gestures. The woman, whose name was Lyra, told him in bits and pieces about her home planet, a world destroyed by a war no human could imagine. Their survival depended on hiding, staying unseen. But the peace of the farm could not last. One night, strange lights appeared in the sky, hovering just above the treetops. Metallic shapes glinted in the moonlight, and a low hum vibrated through the ground. Lyra stiffened, whispering, They have found us. Jarek's grip on his old hunting rifle tightened. He had never faced something like this, creatures from beyond the stars, coming for a child. But he would protect them, even if it meant everything he had. The lights descended closer, revealing the terrifying truth: tall, armored aliens with glowing eyes and strange, elongated weapons. The farm animals scattered, sensing danger, while Lyra crouched protectively over her child. You must go, Lyra whispered urgently to Yarek. Hide, protect my child. I will stop them. Before Yarek could respond, she stepped out into the open, her hands raised. Energy rippled around her, a soft golden light emanating from her body. The alien hunters paused, startled by a force they had not expected. Lyra's small frame seemed insignificant, yet the light around her grew, pulsing with an invisible power that made the ground tremble. Yarek watched, helpless but in awe. Lyra's eyes met his, and she nodded an unspoken promise that she would do whatever it took to keep her child safe. The hunters advanced, but each step seemed to slow, as if the world itself resisted their approach. Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. Finally, the hunters retreated, their ships disappearing into the night sky. Lyra collapsed, exhaustion and relief washing over her. The child stirred, eyes blinking up at her, unafraid now. Yarek stepped forward cautiously. You saved your child, and this farm." Lyra smiled weakly, brushing straw from her hair. "We survive together because you helped." In the days that followed, the farm returned to quiet normalcy. Lyra continued to help, tending the animals with care and precision. But Yarek knew the peace was temporary. The universe was vast, dangerous, and full of hunters and hidden wars. Yet, in the middle of the farm, amid the pigs and the hens, hope had found a fragile home. And for the first time in years, Yarek felt that maybe, just maybe, humans and aliens could find trust, and even friendship, in the most unlikely places.